Lost my marriage because I want to be child-free. Don't miss out on the fun. Hit subscribe button and join our community for more stories like this one. I'm so happy that I've found a group where my thoughts and feelings are finally being heard. Just to tell you my story, how I ended up being CF on purpose. From a very young age on, I could never imagine having kids. The thought of breastfeeding a baby or taking care of a little one in general never felt right for me. I thought that it's a phase and I would want it someday eventually. As many people, I got brainwashed into the idea of having kids is the cycle of life, /normal, etc. When I was 23, I met a man. He was 35 already and we ended up being together for 8 years, and 5 of them married. Since our 12-year age gap, I told him right at the beginning that I don't want children and he said he doesn't want either. When we got married I was 27 years old, and suddenly he started talking about having kids. I was surprised because I thought we were on the same page. I mean, I don't hate kids, I just don't want kids of my own, and this also includes adoption. He was sad and we ended up having a break just 3 months after our wedding. I was completely devastated. We got back together and I told him once again that I don't want kids. He agreed. Looking back now, I should have ended everything right there. The next years were actually great, but when I turned 30, he was already 42. He started talking about having kids again. We sat down and I said him once again that I don't want kids. But then something strange happened. Over the time I got pushed into this idea to check if I'd be healthy enough to conceive. We stopped birth control and while I said that I'm okay with it, I secretly hope that I won't get pregnant. It never happened, so he went to see a doctor and found out that he's infertile, so the chance he could get me pregnant was almost zero. So he asked me if we could give IVF a chance. We went to the hospital. In my country it's normal to go to the hospital for that, and I had a talk with the doctor. I wasn't very comfortable, and told him that I don't think that I want more than 1 round. I felt totally insecure, and talked to my therapist about it. After that, it hit me, and I told my husband that I don't want kids. Never ever. And that he has to finally accept it. I told him that I never felt comfortable during the hospital visit, and that I secretly hoped I would never conceive when we had unprotected intercourse. He was heartbroken, of course, but I said that I told him right at the beginning what I don't want, and that he kind of pushed me into the idea of wanting kids. When we broke up shortly after, he blamed me that I've stolen him his best years, and that he's never going to be a father because of me. At first I felt horrible, but now I feel great actually. No, it doesn't mean that I'm happy that I destroyed his dream of being a father, but I can't blame myself from being honest from the beginning. The only thing I regret is that I gave him hope when I said yes to unprotected intercourse and visiting the hospital to discuss an IVF. I realized that I wasn't happy in this marriage for a very long time, and so this was the final straw. In the end, I have to say I'm happy that I'm child-free and I want to remain so. I'm currently trying to get a sterilization. Sorry, English is not my first language, and so I don't know the right word for it, but it's hard to get in my country. Thanks for listening and I'm happy to be here. Finally, some people with the same mindset. I thought I was the only one. Edit. Wow. I'm completely overwhelmed. I never thought that my story is going to get so much attention. Thanks to everyone who took their time and left a comment. I read them all, and while I am not able to reply to everyone, I just wanted to say, thanks for all the compassion you brought toward me. I have to admit though, I never saw my ex as a manipulative person. Besides the children thing, I actually thought we've had some good times and I thought that he's going to support me in all of my decisions. I also thought that the age gap is not going to be a problem since I know many couples with bigger age gaps and it seems to work out well. I genuinely loved him, but when I realized that he wants to be a dad so badly and our futures don't align in general, I ended things and filed for divorce. The divorce already commenced last year and I am already seeing a therapist. Not just because of him, he's just one part among other things, so thank you once again. I am in a good place and happy to be child-free. Comments. You did not steal anything from this man, or deny him anything. You were clear and upfront from the beginning. He did not listen or respect you or your boundaries. What an asshole. I'm happy you stayed true to yourself, wishing you the best child-free future ahead. He threw his best years away because his partner was clear at the beginning that she didn't want children. And he proceeded to wear her down into agreeing to try for them. It's not Opie's fault he can't knock her up. But thank God he couldn't. If he really wanted kids, he probably should have thought about that before getting with somebody who said they didn't. At 35, he might have had a better chance of having kids if he found a partner who wanted them. Men are so pretentious that they'll literally date women and believe they'll change their mind about having kids instead of just finding a woman who actually wants kids. I see this too often. They keep wanting innocent and naive women they can mold to their superior ways. Your ex is a piece of work. He pushed you to try for kids, even though you said repeatedly you don't want any, and blamed you after that didn't work. That man didn't love you. Good riddance. The best thing is, my parents also blamed me. They said in our family we don't do divorces, and you'll see, one day you want to be a mother and you'll have nobody. I don't think that my mind on being CF is ever going to change because I never had the desire to have a kid. And I certainly don't want someone who pushes me into having kids. So no regrets on filing the divorce. It's always good to remember that our parents aren't the ones who have to live our lives. We need to take care of our happiness, and they need to tend to theirs. You did the right thing, up. Even apart from all of this, he is the reason conception didn't happen. How can he blame you for his infertility? He will never be a father because he is impotent and because he is such a piece of shit. But of course, blaming the woman is the way to go. Yeah, there's a reason a 35-year-old man started dating a 23-year-old woman. No adult in their mid-30s goes after someone in their very early 20s because they think they'd make a super equal life partner. They do it because they know the person is young, inexperienced, and naive, and therefore easier to manipulate and control. Subscribe and hit the bell button for the best Reddit stories available.